At St Germain's Church, we're hoping to improve our buildings so that we can better serve our local community. So we asked people what they think of the church hall and what needs to be improved to facilitate future use. Over 80 people from the church and local community responded to our survey, and we caught up with some of them in and around the area to hear more about what they thought.
We've been running St Germain's Stay and Play for about the last 20 years in the church hall, and we usually get about 140 adults and children per session. Sometimes up to 190 adults and children come each week, and we have people come from all over the place, so lots from the local community and from all different cultures and ethnic backgrounds, and everyone that just enjoys being together.
I just find everyone really friendly. There's a lot to do, there are lots of events on the weekends, and we take part in all the activities and workshops and picnics and things that they do. They do a lot for my child, provide so much for the parents, so much support. Everyone's very welcoming, and I will continue coming and hopefully bring my future children here and theirs as well.
So we've been meeting here for a number of years, decades really, and we have Beaver Scouts, which is the youngest section, right up to through Cubs and Scouts to Explorer Scouts, which is the oldest section in the Scout group, and we all meet in this church hall. So we've had a long running connection with the church and with the building, and I think the size of the actual hall is great. That's just the right size for us. Plenty of space for the children to run around in, plenty of space to play games in. There's a nice outside section, the grassy area that we can be outside on.
91% of respondents said that the outdoor space is good, so we want to ensure that we keep space for community activities and games once the building work is complete.
I've held a couple of Zumba sessions at St Germain's Church Hall, and it's a great hall, really well attended, the two sessions that I did hold there. I could see if some of the facilities were improved, that we could have more regular sessions.
Nearly 70% of respondents said that they or a member of their family would attend fitness classes at St Germain's Church Hall if they were available in the future.
When we're doing, we've had sleepovers in here, so obviously you've got to have one room for the girls to sleep in and one room for the boys to sleep in and another room for the leaders to be in. So yeah, that's we have done that in the church hall, and it's a great space for doing that because the kitchen is fantastic. We can feed them all of a morning, so you know that's great. You can put the girls in the two rooms and the boys in the big things, and then the leaders just have to stay awake.
I've used the St Germain's Church Hall plenty of times for my curry event. It's a charity event which I host over the course of the year. It's called Curry for Charity, and the hall is just absolutely ideal for the event because number one, it's very accessible by bus. It comes from all over the city and it's really accessible for people.
In fact, nearly 65% of hall users said that the easily accessible location of the hall was a main reason for them choosing to hire it. The church hall remains a popular location, with more than 97% of users saying they are more than likely to use it again.
It was an inbuilt way from going from the hall into the office. That would be great, especially when the weather's bad, and also it's just easier because sometimes also the iron gates have a padlock, and now because I access the office so many times, do understand that you can actually open it and get through and then you ring the bell. But for somebody who's quite new and who wants to rent the hall, I've actually had people stop me and ask me sometimes outside, which is, oh, that we need to go inside the office, can you help us get through? So I've sort of like directed them.
Many people agreed, with 71% of respondents saying that they did not find the church office very easy to locate and access.
I have often thought actually it would be nice to have a connection between the church and the hall. because I do like to take the Beaver Scouts over to the church sometimes, and you can't, you know, you run the risk of you've got to go out into the car park, and it's not the best thing to do. So that would be nice, I think, if we had a connection between the church and the church hall.
Obviously, because I've used the hall again, over, you know, time and time over again, I do feel there's some, you know, if there was some improvements, it would be fabulous. Starting with the fact that the whole entrance and the doors, if they were slightly modernised and sort of built in newly, that would just be great. Obviously, the toilets, yeah, maybe we could have bigger toilets as well. That would be amazing.
I mean, we have meetings, we have our exec meetings, and we usually use this room, which can be crowded if there's, you know, that's all the adults in the group, so that can be quite difficult sometimes.
We have thought of hosting smaller events. I have thought of doing some smaller events for women as well, but I think it would be great if we could have smaller meeting rooms or conference rooms. That would be great because this hall is amazing, but if you're hosting a small get-together for something, it can be a bit sort of like overpowering because it's huge and you feel like there's just like what 20-30 of you in the hall and you feel like, oh, okay. So if there was like a smaller, bigger room, like a conference room or meeting rooms as we have in loads of venues, that would be amazing, and I think that would be quite practical for others as well.
And storage is always an issue. You know, you've got the things up on the stage, but obviously that's not easily accessible, and there's a lot of stuff up there sometimes, so it does get crowded and a bit difficult to get up there. So more storage would be lovely.
The architect illustrated a variety of options for us, including simpler designs which put some of what we wanted inside the church building, but made no improvement to the facilities in the hall. However, in the light of the feedback from the survey, the design which most clearly met our needs continued to be the plan with toilets, office, entrance, and a new meeting room in a building linking church and hall, with a new servery at the back of church.